Hello and welcome to another episode of Devs on Tape. Today, in English again, because we have an English guest here. We are talking today about the tremendous work in the ACE program from our guest today. So, in the podcast, I cannot ask for a warm round of warm applause. No, warm round of applause. But we are imagining that we have it here. Hello and welcome, Jennifer Nicholson.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we are very interested to learn more about the ACE program, about the history, and for the future of the ACE program. So maybe you can just introduce yourself for our listeners.
My name is Jennifer, and I've been with Oracle since 2014, so 9 years. And most of that time, I was actually in marketing for 7 years, and I've been in the database org since 2021. And with the exception of about 6 or 7 months, I've been with the ACE program the whole time.
Yeah.
we could talk more about that.
Yeah.
And then I kind of have 2 hats. That's American expression, I think. But, one hat's the ACE program. And then the other part of my job is I work with user groups, so about 40 Oracle user groups. So I feel like I have one of the best jobs in all of Oracle. I feel very lucky.
That's great. So was it a marketing perspective to create the ACE program? So what was it out of a marketing initiative to expose the experts of the technology to spread the word?
Exactly. Yeah. So it started in 2005. And actually in the very beginning, there were Oracle employees in the program too. So it has changed over time, but it started with just the ACE director level. And then over time, we now have 3 levels, associate, pro, and ACE director to kind of open it up to more types of members. But yes, so 2005 is when it started.
So do you have a number of experts that are currently in the program?
We have around 430. I don't know the exact number right now, and from 48 countries. Yeah. Oh, so that's the nice thing, is entirely global, and even though we're an American company, people can be contributing in their native language entirely. So it's really open to everybody.
Is there a country you have in mind which don't have any ACEs yet, which you want to?
Good question. Let's see. Because percentage-wise, we have the most ACEs in Europe.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice.
And if you look at our directory, it's surprising that Switzerland has a lot of ACEs.
Yeah.
It's so tiny.
Right.
I'm not sure what to make of that. But is there a particular country? No, but I think we really hope to grow the program more in Latin America and in Asia Pacific. That's kind of where we're hoping to get even more members. So.
Talking about the growth, is it the plan from the ACE program, or especially from you, to expand the program to as many experts as possible, or is there a gap, or do you have any goals? Like we want like 500 and then we see?
I've actually gotten that question a bunch, is do you have a limit to the number that you want, or is there a goal? And actually we obviously want to increase the number of ACEs we have. However, more is not better. Yeah. Like we want quality people in our program. And even though, yes, it's over 400 people, so it's big enough so that you can meet people from all over and working with all different Oracle products, but it's also small enough so that it's a real community and family, so that you can reach out to people and in the program if you need help. And it's just a great group of people that they help each other too. So yeah, we don't want more members just for the sake of reaching a certain number. No. But I think our challenge in getting more members really is getting the word out more about the program. Yeah. So even though it's been around, for a long time, Oracle is very big, and, it goes through many changes, and still a lot of people internally aren't familiar with the program. So, and I think that's one challenge.
So I don't know if it's the right word, but is there a high fluctuation in the number of experts? So like I saw it on LinkedIn, and this is my personal opinion or my personal view on that. I saw many people joining recently. This might be a thing of the communication. So this was increased, that more postings, more announcement that new ACEs are on board. But are there many associates that are like going out of the program recently or very fast, or is it like they're joining and staying forever?
Right. So that's a good question. Even historically, so not just since, and we can talk about the program relaunching in 2022, but there's always a certain amount of turnover every year. So when you get the ACE recognition, it's for a year period, which matches Oracle's fiscal year. So it's June 1st to May 31st. So every June, we review all of our members to see, look at their contributions and see if one should be promoted, because that's the chance to, move from associate to pro. And then that's the time when also some people may fall off. So we totally recognize that what ACEs are doing is in their personal time. So it's all about your community contribution. So if it's part of your job, that's not considered an ACE activity. So, during our lives, right, we have times when we have more work commitments, more family commitments, health. So people have more time to contribute sometimes versus others. So we understand that. And the nice thing is we have, some members that things come up and they move to alum, and then their lives change, and then they can move back into the program. So
this is exactly what happened to me back then, right? Yes. So I was in the ACE program in this first iteration. We're going to talk about that later, what's between the relaunch and the historic or the older ACE program. And for German listeners, I already told the story, but I can do it in English again. So I was starting at ACE and then went to the next step, like ACE Associate, then ACE. And right before COVID, where all points and statuses were frozen, I went to alumni because 4 years ago my daughter was born. And then right after, when my daughter was old enough, I was rejoining the new program as associate again. And this exactly happens. I guess this is a normal life cycle, right? So developers are starting, or DBAs or whatever, are starting in the Oracle database environment, getting better, going to the ACE program, step up, and then life changes, right? So then they fall off the program or get alumni and then come back when the time is ready for that. So
yeah, I actually think we did a deep dive already into the program,
but in German.
No, currently, because I would like to jump to the beginning. So that's what I wanted. And we all know, or we already talked about it here, that we have technical ACEs, like developers and DBAs, and I don't know, 1 year ago or so.
August 2022.
Yeah, you launched also the community ACEs.
Yes.
And maybe you can talk a bit about why did you do that and how many do we have community ACEs?
I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but you can go to the ace.oracle.com/directory and you can sort by that. But I want to guess it's maybe 5 to 10% of our ACEs. But so the program was always about people's technical contributions. So their blog posts, their presentations, etc. But with the relaunch of the program, there's so many people that work really hard supporting the Oracle community. So whether it's doing what you're doing now, or it's organizing events, meetups, conferences, reviewing call for papers for conferences, doing newsletters, there's so many different things that you're still helping the Oracle community, but it's not considered a technical contribution. So we really wanted to recognize those people too. And so that's why we have the technical ACEs now, which again are most of them, but then the community ACEs too, so that they're part of our ACE community also.
So is it possible that a community ACE could be ACE director, for example? Are those
good
the same
question?
steps?
Yes. So community ACEs are just associates and pros, because the key difference between directors and the other two levels is their relationship with Oracle product management.
Oh, yeah.
So every ACE director has at least one contact in product management, and they have regular communications, giving product feedback, or the product manager goes to them and maybe they are testers for something, or they really have a strong relationship. And that's not everybody, right? Because it takes time, a lot more time. And then so the ACE directors have to have that technical aspect. So that's why community ACEs can't be ACE directors.
Yeah.
And I really like this additional status or the other ACE type because, for example, I went to the Polish user group sometimes, and Luisa's always organizing everything, and I always get her emails about the new information, and I think it's really great that she is also appreciated like an ACE
exactly
for her work.
Yeah, she's a great example of somebody that does a lot in the community, but not technical.
Yeah.
So in the program, when we are contributing and entering our new activities, there's also the separation, even for the technical ACEs, that if they contribute are like doing a podcast episode, which is not always technical or in-depth technical, then we can contribute and say, yeah, this is not a technical contribution. And then we have this different points that are counted, right? So technical content, you have to reach them to be in technical ACE, and then you have the sum of that, everything together, which has another level you should reach, right? So as I counted right, I have like about 300 points, and 75 to 80 are just for the community stuff, like the non-technical content. Yeah,
so you're right. So for the technical ACEs, we have a minimum amount of points you need to have, and then of those points, a certain amount need to be technical.
Yeah.
And just in case listeners aren't familiar with what we're talking about. So we have, again, 3 levels in the program: associate, pro, and ACE director. And the reason we came up with these points is because without them, the program isn't as transparent to people. So many want to know, okay, I really want to reach a higher level. How do I do that? And so this makes it much easier to understand, well, this is what I need to do to be an associate, a pro, etc. So the transparency makes it nice. So for the technical ACEs, that's why the amount needed is those points are higher. So we have an app in Apex. It's amazing. Of course, I'm biased.
Of course, in Apex.
Super easy to use. And then that's why you can see a whole list of all the different contribution types.
Yeah.
That's great. So I can't really remember if it was a thing back then, but was there kind of a high score list? So for now, we cannot see the points from different ACEs. So I cannot see Caro's points to see someone was promoted. On which base was it? So is he really a high contributor, like 3 or 4 times the points necessary? So director or pro, absolutely correct. So this would be the next step to be transparent to see, but it's also controversial to see. So no one gets into competition.
Because really, the only points an ACE needs to worry about is their own to see which level they are. And also you can have many, many, many times over the amount of points needed to be an ACE director, and many of our pros have a lot of contributions. And that doesn't necessarily mean they should be an ACE director, because again, it's that relationship with product management.
How many? So again, I could go to the page and go to the directory and sort it. But all right, so our listeners don't see that Jen is taking out her phone and watching exactly.
I should have it memorized.
Yeah. So obviously, directors are more seldom than the pros, right? So not everyone is getting a director. So I don't really know how many we have. We might have a look.
We have about 72 or so ACE directors.
Right. And
71, 72.
Around the world also,
around
right?
the world, yes.
Mostly from Switzerland.
No, that's most of the ACEs. But yeah, so, and really what traditionally happens is, and when the program relaunched, is we had a lot of associates. So people typically join as an associate, and then it's kind of expected that they move to pro at the next review cycle. So we have a lot of people that get promoted every June. So
just because you speak of a promotion, for our listeners, what are the criteria to get promoted from associate, which is the first level, or the starter level, to pro, and then also to director?
Yeah. So within the app, all the ACEs can see the breakdown of points of what's needed. So it's not transparent to the public, the exact points, but once you're in the program, you can see exactly how many you need to move up. And then, like I mentioned, the key thing is not just the relationship with product management for the director level. It's also them, they have to be supporting your nomination too. So that's the big difference. And then there's also different benefits that go along with every program, with every level. And I have to say, I know you talked about the other similar programs with other companies in the previous episode, but the ACEs really get a lot of cool benefits. And I could talk about those, but I don't know if I answered your question fully.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like something to add. So you have to reach the points, obviously, and you can track them with each and every contribution. You enter that, you see something pending and it gets approved, and then you see how many points you have. And then there are some additional things like you have to start as an associate. Definitely, you cannot join like for director directly. I think it was something which Roel Hartman mentioned, that back in the days when he started into the program, this was possible. This is not possible anymore.
Right.
And you have to go through all the stages, and it is for every cycle, right? Like 6 months 6 months, I guess.
So generally you're in the program for a year before you move up, yes. And I wouldn't say that 0 people start at pro. Occasionally it happens, but it's definitely not the norm.
Yeah.
But one thing I should have said this in the very beginning, because we're talking a lot about points, but to go to the root of the program is the ACEs love helping other people. So they love sharing their knowledge. And, a lot of ACEs got started because they had a problem and they worked to get a solution. And they thought, you know what, I'm just going to start a blog and do this blog for myself, not for other people, just to kind of document this issue and how I solved it. And that's how a lot of ACEs get started, blogging and get into the program, which is nice. So it's about not doing it with the goal of, yes, I want to be an ACE. Hopefully, I hope that people are doing it because that's their nature, and they get excited about sharing and helping other people.
They should look onto the program as more than a recognition from Oracle, not as a goal for them to reach as soon as possible, right?
Right, yes.
Yeah. So talking about the benefits. So I don't really know, what a shame, but there's kind of a community award. This is something different to the benefits at all, right? So I saw that there are kind of award in there, so I have to research that. But
maybe you mean the award certificate? Is that what you mean?
Or do you mean the community ACEs?
Yeah, it's within the community ACES, definitely. But maybe ask a new question.
But I can talk a little bit about it. Maybe this will answer it. So the awards differ, by the level. So something everybody gets is we have 2 different types of meetings every month. So one of the benefits of being in the program is for the ACEs to get to know Oracle product managers so that they can know who to go to if they have questions, or so they know who to follow to get information, right? So at least once a month, we have a product manager or a team come in and present to the ACEs. The nice thing, I think, is we have meetings, not just a webinar that's recorded and you can't, ask questions directly. It's meant to be a conversation so that it's more casual and you can get the information you need and get to know that product manager, and they can get to know you a little bit too. So we have 1 to 2 meetings a month that are focused on product, and then the other meeting we have for ACEs is the program update meeting. And that's where we have a lot of guest speakers. So we've had a lot of ACEs are interested in writing a book, but don't know where to start. So we had Oracle Press come in and talk about writing books. We've had one of our ACEs, ACE directors, Tim Hall, has Oracle base, and he talked to the ACEs about blogging. We've had Connor McDonald talk about presenting. We've had Oracle University come in and talk about certifications, because all ACEs, all levels, get a free certification voucher every year. I'm sure because we have so many guest speakers, I'm sure I'm forgetting some. But the program updates are more about building your career, whereas the product updates are obviously technical and about product stuff. So those are two types of meetings that really help all the ACEs. So even if you're an associate, they get certificates, digital certificates, and we have networking events. That's something everyone is entitled to or invited to come to. So this is my third conference in a week and a half. So for each conference, we have, for example, at this one, we had cave tours, underground cave tours, and then an ACE dinner. So not just a dinner where you can, get to know the people at the dinner, just in that setting, but the adventures, we call them ACE adventures, are nice, and you get to
you spend
go
time
somewhere
together,
fun.
right?
Yeah. So at Cloud World, we did a trip to the Grand Canyon. This Cloud World, we did a kayaking trip, which was amazing. We did an Oxford tour. We did, we go to museums, like all different kinds of things. So,
and that's also new, right? Though I cannot remember that there was any ACE adventure like a couple of years ago.
No, the ACE adventures are new. And then we try to pick things that are specific to the town where we're doing the adventure. So something you can't do anywhere else.
So now I know what I was confused with the award word. So in the FAQ of the ACE program, there are the point guidelines, and it's called Level for Tech Award.
Okay.
So this is meant that the Tech Award would be Oracle ACE Associate Pro or Director, and the Community Award is not a award like some kind of trophy. It's just the title, the level, right? Yeah. So we got that solved too. I did my research after beginning the talk, right?
Multitasking.
Yeah. So we have a big list of benefits, right? So you already talked about that you can have on each and every level the certification voucher. You have we got merch.
Yeah, I have my Oracle ACE bottle with me and my Oracle ACE socks in my backpack.
Yeah, I got my hoodie, my ACE hoodie with me this time. And I guess this comes with the promotion or entering the program. We get different kind of merch, right?
Yes. So when you join the program, you get kind of our onboarding package. So the listeners can't see it, but I've got an Oracle ACE polo on, and then like you mentioned, the hoodie.
Soft shell jackets. I guess I had one, or I was expecting to get one or something. There are a couple of merch stuff, right?
There's a lot of different
we
different
had
items.
Cool AI generated avatars. I met them too, and I was very excited to get them. And then I was very frightened to see them because they were so photorealistic, and I saw me as Captain America. Yes, my wife was laughing 2 days around showing them. And you have different benefits for the different levels, right? So we have very much on the entrance level. So most of the things you can have directly when you're an associate. And then you have ACE Pro stuff like an Oracle Cloud World Conference Pass, which is pretty nice, I think. And you have, and this is what I use at most, an Oracle Cloud account with $5,000 in credits.
Yes. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the credits burn down much slower than other cloud accounts. So it's really nice for ACEs to be able to use. And the idea is we want you playing, with Oracle Cloud, and a lot of the ACEs, use their cloud account to create demos for their presentations
This is exactly what I would have said 5-6 years ago. I was saying, okay, we are talking about new stuff and new features. We should get something like that.
Yes.
And now we got it. And this is perfect because, it's an open information for everyone, but we got more points, but let's talk about points when we are promoting or going into the cloud techniques, right? So every one of us were developing, doing database stuff, and we were not directly going to the cloud with everything. So there was a point where we say, it would be great to see more content with cloud stuff. But to do it, we need cloud access. And now we get cloud access to every single thing we can have. We can even start an Exadata database. Those points are burning. It doesn't need to be an ACE account to have it slow down. But technically, we can use everything in the Oracle Cloud with this within this credit limit. And I have 2 instances of databases with Apex in it, and they are just running, and I don't expect the credits to be empty by the end of the year. So these instances are running constantly and doing demos or something. I can play around with everything. And even if it's just starting for half an hour to 2 days or whatever, you can use it. And this is something I was wishing to get 6 years ago. Definitely.
Oh, great.
But my fault, I didn't give feedback to the program to help. I guess there were different ACEs giving this feedback, so we have this feature right now. But I'm very grateful for that, to say it like that. Yes, and then we have the last step when you are getting the ACE director, the benefits. So you have like briefings for the Oracle with the Oracle executives. And to be honest, so we are in the Oracle Apex environment, and we get used to talk to Mark Saves and the whole team like all the time. We're just sitting with them at dinner on conferences. So we are even used to that. Before it was possible to have those product meetings with the product management leaders. But this is something that as an ACE director too. Then you have the travel support. For conferences, maybe you can tell us more.
So ACE directors are eligible to get travel support to speak at not just Oracle User Group conferences, but any conferences. And it doesn't, this is a differentiator between our program and another program out there, is that the conference doesn't even have to be in your region. It can be a global, anywhere. And the ACE directors are eligible to get support to speak. So airfare and hotel.
So you're applying to that beforehand, or do you just do it and then get the support right after, or how this?
So you just, once you're accepted, then the ACE director applies, just puts in their costs, what their papers are, and then we just verify that they're on the agenda, they're actually speaking, and then we review and approve their travel.
Yeah, this is pretty cool because you are needing much private time most of the time, sometimes company time if you can make that happen with your company, but you are spending like days to travel, then you're speaking at a conference, you might not be able to work in your daily job during that time, and this is a very great support to have when you're like traveling to America, then staying in a hotel in Las Vegas, for example. Maybe get the conference pass. Most of the time you get it as a speaker, but yeah, that's pretty cool that you get this support, which might not be supported by the company you're working for.
Right.
So this
and actually, you just brought up something we haven't talked about, because one of the big questions is, I'm doing these things for my job, or I'm blogging on my company blog, and then can I be an ACE? And I think that's a big differentiator. So the ACEs, like I said, they're sharing their knowledge with the community in their own time. So if it's something that someone's doing as part of their job, we don't look at that as a community activity. So so these ACEs that are getting travel support to speak, they're not doing it as employees of their company, they're doing it in their free time, just to share. So if you're doing a presentation at the conference and you have slides from your company, is it considered as being a presentation for the company? Usually the ACEs they have a slide about the ACE program, and they may say where they work, but it's not promoting their company.
All right.
And I also think to add another point of view to this ACE director travel support, I also like the thought that also people who don't have that much money to travel around the world can participate or use this program to still spread the word. Go to the conference, and I really like that. Yeah, so it's open for everyone. Everyone is able to join the program. Everyone, doesn't matter if you like to present, or if you like to write a blog or a book or whatever, you can join it and participate and go get promoted to pro or director and be part of it. Yeah, that's. And I just wanted to. I'm sorry. I'm often a bit emotional about this stuff because I really love that it's open for everyone.
Yes. and you brought up something. Sometimes people are first exposed to ACEs at a conference because the presenter will say, "I'm an ACE director," and then they think, "Well, I am never going to get up on stage and present that. That's not me. I'm not right for the ACE program." But that's one of the amazing things about the program is if you don't like presenting, you don't have to present. You should follow your passion. So if you love writing and blogging and writing articles, that's your area. If you love getting up and speaking in front of people and giving presentations, then that's what you can join the program through. So it's really what the individual likes doing, and you don't have to do any one particular thing.
Yeah. I actually have another question about, we go a bit back to the contributions. And I just wanted to know if you think that the language matters, because I know
that's a great question.
I don't know if you hear this, but by my perfect English. I'm a German. And
no, we definitely cannot say
this. And the Germans,
yes,
listen to German.
That's a great question, and we get that a lot. And there's this amazing thing called Google Translate that we use. So it doesn't matter what language a nominee or a person is using on their blog or when they're presenting. It doesn't matter because we, for the blogs and stuff, we can use Google Translate, which we do. We go through when people are nominated, we go through everything that they submit. So, but yes, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, what for our part with the podcast, we not only from you got the notice that it's in German. I want to hear about the ACE program episode, but it's in German. So what we are doing, like for the last half year, I guess, we are transcribing the episodes. So we use like AI or ChatGPT or GPT in general to transcribe what we are saying. This is being written down in German, and then we translate that to get the subtitles for YouTube. So you can follow each and every episode of Devs on Tape in multiple languages as you like. It might not be that precise, but you get the point what we are talking about. So, I mean, you just turn on the volume and just listen what we are talking about. I don't know if it's the better way to consume a podcast, but you cannot. But
you're making it more accessible.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. Even for people that use like the Braille thing, like if they are blind, they can use that, or if they have any other disabilities, so they can follow our podcast too. So, and I got the list of the contribution types. Maybe we can extend that. Because you already mentioned that if you're not into presentations, you don't have to do it, right? So if to give our listeners a little overview of which different type of contributions we can add to the program or to our account, I can just read them really quick in different languages, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Real quick.
There's a lot.
Yeah. All right. Caro, please edit in post-production. Do some kind of magic sounds in the end, or maybe just speed it up. So we have third-party publications as articles. We have awards for ACE newsletter publications. We have blog postings. We have books in separation for one or more chapters. Then we have the book contribution if you are the sole author with a publisher or you are the technical reviewer of a book. Then we have call for papers. We have cool projects, which is very cool that you have, if you have any contribution which is not directly fitting in those contribution types, that you can just say, I think this is a cool project. Please give me a rating for that. Yes. Maybe then you can just enter that as a cool project with Oracle technologies behind that. Then we have event organizers, feedback to the Oracle product management, which is pretty cool too. And help Oracle to fix a bug even. Then we have different kind of events, which is Oracle providing. If you participate to that, you can use that to contribute. You can, record videos, podcasts, even for non-technical and technical content. And I have even load more rows. Maybe we speed that up too. But
and mentoring, you didn't mention. So that's something that's been kind of highlighted more since the relaunch of the program is mentoring, because we really want to encourage the current members, to mentor new people to come into the program. So it's nice because so many ACEs have raised their hand and say, I would love to be a mentor. So to match them up with people. And it's, imagine if you are approached by somebody and they were to say, hey, I think you have, what it takes and the potential to be an ACE, and I want to help guide you. That's a really nice way to start a relationship or continue a professional relationship, right? To have that mentoring. So the ACEs have been, doing a lot of amazing mentoring.
In my point of view, or in my experience with that, most of the time it's inside companies, right? So there are some criteria you have to meet. But so if I have colleagues and they see I'm an ACE pro, maybe director or something, and then I go to them and say, this is a great program, let me help you to join. It can't be easier to do it with a colleague together, right? So I can nominate you and you can come into the program. There were like changes that you are not allowed. I mean, for director, it's definitely the point that you are not able to do it within or inside a company. So you have to get someone from out there.
And that's for nominating. So you can't nominate somebody in your company to be an ACE director, and it's better if it's actually the Oracle product manager that's nominating somebody. But most of the time, it's somebody nominating them to be, an associate or a pro.
Yeah. So we have a long list. No, I'm not reading them. I just recognize how many points.
Social media is another one.
Success story for customer references. This is also cool.
Some ACEs, all they do is, not all they do. It's a huge contribution, but they love answering questions on forums. So that's a big one.
Even Stack Overflow.
Yep.
Yeah. I think in general, everything which helps other people is
exactly
in this list, definitely.
In this list, So however you can publicly help other people, yes.
So now we talked a long time between those mentioning, like, what was the gap between the old historic ACE program and the relaunch?
Yes. So, I mentioned in the beginning that I started out in the marketing organization because that's where the ACE program was. And then our group, so originally, I don't know if you remember OTN, the Oracle Technology Network.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where the program was, and that's when I joined Oracle, I was in OTN. And then we had a few organizational changes. And then in April 2021, the program was in developer relations, and they were thinking about taking the program in a new direction. And it didn't end, and that's when I moved to the database organization. It didn't end up happening, and then the ACE program moved over to the database org, and then I'm managing it again. Very, very, very happy about that.
So it follows you, right? So it's not you going to the ACE program, but the ACE program is following you.
Yes. So very happy about that. It's like it's really like a family to me, and so it's like a reunion now that we're all back together again. So once it joined the database organization, we took a look at how we want to change it, where we want to go, and then we took some time to really think about how we wanted to change it. And so then it was relaunched August 2022. And then, like you mentioned, it has the community ACEs and some other changes to, trying to have a bigger variety of benefits for program members.
So now we have the present ACE program, we have the past ACE program. What's in there for the future?
That's a great question. So, of course, and this goes back to the beginning too, we would like to grow the program, but we want to grow the program carefully because, more isn't necessarily better. We want, quality people in the program. I think the members have always, because it's about Oracle products, there's a huge overlap between user groups, Oracle user groups, and ACEs, because there are a lot of ACEs are volunteering in user groups like both of you. And I think one direction is we are open, we want to encourage ACEs to go and speak and participate at non-Oracle events too, to kind of get the word out there more about Oracle with, for example, developer conferences. So that's one change going forward.
Now you're thinking of you cannot tell the information about what is planned. To reassure everything is fine, you can talk about whatever you want. We had different product managers from Oracle in this podcast, and they're all telling the secrets. So no problem.
That's all I'm going to share.
We see it. So we are two ACE pros right now, and we will definitely hear about the changes in the product, in the program.
Oh, and then, sorry, one thing I want to share, the program, I'm in the database organization, and the program sits in the database organization, but the ACE program is not just about database. Just like it was before, it's our ACEs can work on any products, so across the board, so that's nice.
We unfortunately don't have that much time anymore, but I would like to ask you one question about the community you are building, because this is also, it's not just like you have points here, you have contributions there. It's also your job to build the community. And I, just wanted to ask if you could tell us something about what you learned about building a community. So if someone else wants want to build a community for technical stuff, or I don't know, something like this, what they can take or learn from you.
Yes. So I think, especially with COVID, we learned about how to work with a global community without seeing each other, right? And that was a big challenge, but we also learned from that. So when I mentioned earlier, we have these different types of meetings on Zoom. I think one of the community building things, we actually pre-start the meetings 15 minutes early for networking, because as I think to build a community, you need to, have interaction with each other. So not just about tech, but, learning about each other's lives, interests, families, etc. So kind of creating those opportunities for the members to get to know each other better. And that's kind of like what we're doing with the ACE Adventures. Mm-hmm. So those, fun trips and hanging out with the other ACEs to get to know them better. So doing those types of events virtually in Zoom and then in person.
I mean, I don't know if it's really really connected to the ACE program, but there are those Oracle tours, like the APAC tour, I think, or the Nordic tours.
Yes.
I was always looking forward to contribute or to travel with them. It never happened because of I was definitely I didn't make that happen. I was on vacation myself, or it was too far away, or whatever. I guess this is something we should mention too. So
yes, we haven't talked about the tours. So those go back many, many, many years. I believe it started with the Latin America tour. So it's about 10 countries with 10 to 12 countries within a month. Mm-hmm. So some ACEs go from country to country to country. And it's really, I talked earlier about the overlap between ACEs and user groups, right? So it's user groups in different locations coming together and having a tour, so to leverage the speakers that are going from one country to the next, and they're amazing. Yeah. You have to try to go on a tour if you can. Yeah. So we have the Latin America one, we have an EMEA one. We do not have a North America one, which is funny.
Let's do it.
North America, but APAC too. So it's nice the user groups and the ACEs working together. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So this is one point I would say. This is the coolest thing. I mean, the most European ACEs or ACE directors and ACE pros, we already know each other, right? So we are traveling from conference to conference, and we sit together in ACE dinners and normal dinners or whatever. But to learn ACEs from different countries and then be on the bus together or on the flight, on the hotel, and spend so many days and times together. So I think there will be many more friendships, or you learn to know each other better. But for my part, it would be great to have short tours, not a complete month. My wife, no way.
Well,
travel back and forth.
So most ACEs definitely did. We had, for the Latin America tour this year, we had one ACE that I think did almost all the countries, but it's not even an expectation that someone would go to all the countries. Yeah. And there's also, I didn't mention the Athra tour. So that's the AIOUG, the All India. Yeah, the Indian Oracle user group has a tour that they called Yatra. So that's through several cities within India. And that's a really intense one. Yeah. Because there's a lot of quick travel.
And that's exactly, I would look forward to do so. We are 1 week here in Nuremberg. It's Nuremberg every single day, every single night, right? So fun. After that, you're completely done. But if you have 5 days or maybe just 4 days, I think it was kind of an Apex tour where the Apex team came over and they were in Scandinavia. Yes. This was exactly what I was looking for. Yes. I was on vacation at the same time, even in the same country, but Sweden, Denmark, and I don't know if it was North Germany, but 3 or 4 steps. I would do my presentations each and every day. Moving locations, no problems with the travel. The way more intense ones and see it somewhere around the globe would be a very great addition to that. So I would looking forward to that.
Thanks for mentioning. I forgot the Apex tour.
Yeah.
And we've had there's been an Apex tour in Latin America too, that organized by user groups with the Apex team. So there's lots of different tour opportunities.
So this was a contribution from Devs on Tape for the ACE program to extend more intense short tours. I would definitely be on board for that. So I guess there are many people doing that.
And we're always open to user groups organizing, because I didn't mention this, but Oracle doesn't organize the tours. These are user group events. So Oracle supports them by providing Oracle speakers, and then we have the travel support for the ACEs to go and speak. But they're organized by user groups. So
Cool.
Oh, that's a cool thing. I didn't know that.
Yeah, me too.
Right. So you already said we don't have that much time. I would love to talk more, but we going to switch over to the categories right now. Jen. We have some bad questions or something for you. So hypothetically, it's awesome. What do you estimate what will your daily work look like in 10 years from now? Are you still in the ACE program? Are there multiple programs? Or what do you expect?
hopefully we have, well, yes. So first of all, I'm hoping I'm still at Oracle. I don't intend on leaving, so hopefully I will still be there. I'm fortunate because the database organization is a great group to work in, so I feel lucky there. I definitely, my passion is the community. So, the ACE program, or what, the future holds for the ACE program, hopefully it's going to continue getting, bigger and better as years go on. So maybe just more community focused programs too.
So I would like to move to the next category, in private. Are you satisfied with your work-life balance?
Am I, or is my husband? So that's I was saying how I love my job. I love being in the database organization. I think when you love your job, it's even harder to have a good work-life balance because you get passionate about what you're doing. And it's harder to have that balance. But, Oracle is, I'm lucky, the supportive of having a good work-life balance. So I'm lucky there. But I love what I do. So that helps. And also, I'm a mom. I have 3 kids, and they aren't, the youngest is 17. So I'm at a stage in my life where I can, focus more on my career. And actually, what I didn't tell you was I first started working at Oracle in 1993, Oracle 7. So I've worked for Oracle twice.
Yeah.
And I took time off 14 years just to be with my 3 kids. And then I went back to work, and Oracle's the first place I've been since being, I don't say full-time mom, because even if you have a paying job, you're still a full-time mom, right?
Yeah.
But Oracle's been great from that respect too. So
Great. So when you love your job so much that your work-life balance went to like your work's getting your life, right? So because it's just, I think Mike Becker was talking about work-life blending, because it's not a separation. You don't say I'm done with work right now or today. It's just like blending in each other, and everything is mixed up. And this is only possible if you like your job.
Yes.
So that's great to hear. So next category is consumption. How do you deal with the growing flood of information via various channels like news, informations, and there are like push notifications, emails, everything is like hitting every day and every minute. And
we were talking about this today at the conference with Slack and email and having multiple Slack workspaces and how to handle it all, because it is information overload. I think the key is having a system to know how you're going through your messaging. But I guess there's the work tech, getting knowledge that way, and then personal, because you can be overloaded either way, right? So, and I actually, I don't know if I'm in the minority, but I love Slack for work because it's just so much easier if you have quick questions to do that, and then just knowing what should go in email, so you have a trail and what shouldn't. But
I mean, there are technical things. So like, do you turn off your phone, like the ringing or something, just to prevent you looking each and every minute on your phone to do not miss anything?
I probably should turn off notifications at night.
Yeah.
But that's the terrible thing, is because I'm always have my phone with me.
Yeah.
So whatever I'm doing, I will see the work things coming up, and I guess that's a way I could improve my work life balance. Now that you're mentioning that.
Now we're talking about optimization. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just so easy to keep getting the information, and then it makes it more challenging to filter it out. But yes,
that's the moment I'm going to switch to the previous category in private again. So this is a very very interesting point. So would you show us your screen time on your iPhone without blushing?
Absolutely. I would.
So proud to be on your phone like each and every minute.
Well, because during the workday, I'm not on my phone. It's more after work ends and then I'm on my phone a lot. But then I'm getting the work messages on my phone.
Yeah, it's still working, right?
So technically, I don't have a lot of screen time during the day.
So
That's why
technically,
I wouldn't blush.
technically, MacBooks and iPhones are sharing the screen time.
that's
so it's
true.
got the end result is like
Okay.
each and every day, all day. All right.
Right.
Awesome. So this was a very great new episode of Devs on Tape. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much
staying
for
here.
having me. I feel very honored that you invited me.
Thank you. So maybe 1 year from now, we're talking again. So this is what we are usually doing at these conferences, that we talk to the persons again, and then we talk about the time in between. So we are looking forward to meet you again and have you in another episode of Devs on Tape. Again, thank you. And thank you to our listeners to run this new episode of Devs on Tape.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.